Hello everybody, it's Peter the Rock. Near the HS2 works, near the Grand Union Canal. Been here before, but not for 15 days now. That's the path I've just come along. It's been raining quite a bit and everywhere's rather boggy, and where it isn't boggy it's overgrown. So this is one viewing point. Doesn't sort of have numbers or names. Viewing point number 1. Sounds a bit boring, doesn't it? So let's see the progress. I haven't been here for, as I say, 15 days. It's Friday the 31st of May, and there has been quite a lot of progress. And this is very interesting. For those of you who've, I don't know, perchance seen some of my filming before, you will know that this horizontal crane is called Dominique. Chugging noises mean that the gantry cranes are moving along Dominique, either carrying something or moving to some place where they're about to pick something up. And generally the idea is that they move along a bit and pick something up and then plant it or insert it into the pier. Now, as bit by bit the piers are built up, usually with a segment, either one on one side and then one on the other side. In fact, this is for the first time you can't actually see an incomplete pier because they've made so much progress. I'll have to get a bit closer, I think. And it's a bit of a step, it's a bit awkward to film and avoid tripping over. Oh, this is a much better, wow! This is fantastic, what a view! This is fantastic. In fact, at the extreme right there, you can see that pier which I think abuts the Grand Union Canal. And that's pier number 19. The one next to it is pier number 18. 17's in front of me. That was being worked on, I think, last time I was here. There's 16, and the Dominique is resting on pier 15. It's a Friday afternoon, 31st of May. Dominique actually looks like, is it my imagination or is it moving? Oh no, there's a lot moving. There's a lot moving backwards, in fact. Towards the back of the crane, there's the back of Dominique. There's something rather unusual. I haven't seen that. I don't know what it is. It looks like a vehicle in a box. May well be. Maybe it'll become clearer as it moves better into sight. But of course, it's great news that so much progress has been made. I think probably 2 piers have been outfilled, that's the word, since I was here last a fortnight ago. But one thing that is very noticeable is how the segments are lined up at fairly uniform intervals, ready to be plucked from their resting places and inserted into the ends of a pier. Pier being a support structure, and the whole of the viaduct. This is the HS2 viaduct, for those of you who are new to this, is of course designed to be 30 foot above the ambient ground level, or in this case water level, because we're by a lake. Now, I wasn't here last weekend because I can't be in 2 places at once, and I decided to fulfill a lifelong ambition, to visit perhaps the most famous arch in the world, or one of the most famous, which is in Maidenhead. Back in the 1830s even, Brunel designed, constructed, built a railway from London to the West Country to Bristol, and it might even have been a 7-foot gauge. Can't be sure about that. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments. But he had a problem when he got to Maidenhead because he had to cross over the Thames. The Thames was pretty wide there, and in fact it was at least 246 feet. How do I know that? Because he ended up constructing two arches 123 foot wide each of them, which is actually, funnily enough, by sheer coincidence, about the distance between the pier bases here, at a rough guess from where I'm looking. It can't be much different to that. But anyway, the problem was that never before had an arch of such amplitude, is that the word? Such width, not been high. If you see what I mean. In order to spread the load, you need quite a high arch, certainly with a gap between the supports of that order. So the problem he had, as he scratched his chin thoughtfully, okay, bit of artistic license, was if he constructed the bridge over the Thames in a conventional way, he would have to rise the whole railway by, I would suppose, between 50 and 70 feet, which would be an inconvenience because that would mean a mile or two each side of going up a hill or going down a hill, and it would require a lot more work. But he thought about it, and he thought, well, I can actually make these viaduct arches a little bit lower. Now, I don't know how he worked it all out. There must be a formula perhaps for how low a viaduct arch can be, or depending on how wide it is. Anyway, he worked it all out and built these two at Maidenhead, and they became the two arches crossing the Thames. There's an island in the middle, and they became the most famous arches on the whole of the Great Western Railway and perhaps the whole world. So if you want to learn more about that, well, you probably won't listen to me, but you can go into wiki something or see my videos from I think it's last Sunday I went to Maidenhead, which I always wanted to see. Meanwhile, back here in the present, I still don't really know what's going on with Dominique. It seems as if, oh, there's some chugging. The gantry crane is moving towards London at the top there. There are 4 cranes on the top of Dominique, and for simplicity, I've called them 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, number 1 is heading towards London, which is to my left, to our left, and to the east. Oh, there's a duck straight ahead of us. So I'm looking kind of south-southeast, and it's a rather miserable day, and not very warm at all either. But it's a Friday afternoon, and I deliberately came here today at this day, because I was hoping that they would be trying to, achieve things within the working week. So that number 1 crane hasn't got a load on it. You can see the jib at the bottom of it. It's just waving in the wind. For those of you interested in the antennae, there are 4 at the back, quite visible here. At the front, less clear, but there seem to be 2. There may be more than that, because of course they can be eclipsed by each other. But I think it's rather nice the way the pier segments are kind of lined up, sort of rather like as if they're in a waiting room, waiting to be permanently installed and supporting the HS2 trains whenever they hurtle across this lake. For those of you new to this viaduct is 2.1 miles long, or will be, and I worked out that it crosses the whole lake area, this area, the Colne Valley we are in 36 seconds, and so you won't see much when you're on the train. Further up towards the Birmingham end, they've already started installing sound waffles, or baffles, sorry, waffles, or possibly waffles as well, which presumably will deflect the sound of the railway away from people who it might annoy, but not here. It's a standard thing with this viaduct to put a little blue fence along to stop the orange suited chaps falling into the water. It's a good job. I'm not colourblind. I mean, I often think that the Dominique horizontal crane, of which I've spoken and filmed many times, it's either red or it's orange, depending on the light. It's very deceptive. But the two supports for it are actually quite close together now. So that is interesting, because it might mean that it's sort of gearing up to send the London support a bit further towards London, perhaps onto the next pier, out of sight behind those bushes. What I'll do now, folks, is get a different view and see if we can see further along the viaduct in that direction, round those trees, from this side, and if not, from the other side, the south side. And I may even do my party trick of pressing the traffic light. Thanks a lot for watching. Speed of the Rock. It's Friday, the 31st of May. Cheers, like and subscribe.